doing at Central Cafe, huh? Yeah, there's a chose, isn't it?
I had a feeling man full of snow. Man full of snow.
What do you think, Dave? Rates for change, Rich? Rates for change?
Lots of shops and whatever.
More shops, more variety.
How do you feel about the Central Cafe?
I would have liked to have gone and had a cappuccino in there.
Yeah.
Or have a meal.
You know what, I'm going to put this on there.
How many years were you with?
Way in, yeah.
How many years were you with? 35 years since you're here.
Want you to know I know the truth. Of course I know you. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. I could fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind.
Did you pass the
Oh, Mario, please, will you pass the salt?
Did I tell you
Hi. Hi, Mario.
you're everything, everything I wish I could be? Oh, night, I can fly higher than
Mom,
an eagle.
that one's for me, that one's from Daddy, that one's from all of us.
Go, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind beneath my wings.
Father number one. Number one. It started it all off. Number one. It's the number one father. And of course the best.
The wind beneath my wings.
Oh, you're right. You okay? You like the young one, you okay? You're fine? Yes.
That's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near or far.
Like a song of love that clings to me. How the thought of you does things to me. Never before has someone been more
Unforgettable in every way.
and forevermore.
And forevermore,
That's how you'll stay.
that's how
someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
What's your new resolution? You said that, Mrs. Stefani?
My resolution, last year was this year, I'll sleep all day. No better this time. Watch them.
I'll do it without my dad.
I just got myself.
They're tired.
Mom, tomorrow.
It's incredible that someone so unforgettable.
Thank you. What is the other kid? Who's the other kid?
It's Maya.
Maya. Maya.
Except my favourite. Thanks to the bicycle.
There it is. How much is it?
See, we're doing a history project at school. I'd like you to answer these questions.
Yes, I will.
Did you go to school?
Of course I went to school.
How was it?
Sometimes good, sometimes not. First, at the beginning it was nice. But just as the year was going over, it wasn't so good. I had too much work to do, too much homework to do.
How did you get to school?
Walking about 3 kilometers to school and now 3 kilometers back at night.
Oh my
At
God.
summertime, I used to walk to school and coming back, we used to put our clothes right in our head and swim back. So it was all right.
Because you lived on the ocean, see, on the little island.
The island.
Did you do history projects?
Yeah, I done history. Done the Greek history project. It was nice because it was mythology, more like a story.
Curiosity killed a cat.
Did you have punishments?
Oh yes, certainly. I wasn't an angel.
Did you ever get one?
Oh yes, I was very, very tired. Sometimes we used to fight under the desks, and the teacher come with a big stick, bang on the bottom. Yes, I was punished a few times. I was a little devil.
How did you
drinks
carry
came
your
with-
lunch to school?
And a little bags.
Mom had
Knitting
bags?
bags we used to put in the morning. We used to put some sandwiches and we always have fruit. Plenty of fruit because we live in the farm. Plenty of fruit, so always have plenty of fruit in there.
What age did you leave school?
After I finished college, I was 18.
Did you hate or like school?
I didn't hate the school. Whole school was all right. Especially now when after I started working, I like school better. See,
Yeah.
no worries, no problems.
Did you sit at a desk at school?
Yes, we had desks.
Yeah. Were the teachers nice or bad?
Some of them were good, some of them.
Yeah.
I suppose because I wasn't a perfect boy. I was a cheeky boy, probably.
Yeah. Were your teachers?
Huh?
Were your teachers nice when you were my age?
Ah, yes, they were very nice when I was of your age, about third or fourth. But after that, I was a bit too cheeky, probably. But the teachers were nice. They teach you, they were determined to teach you. You had to learn. There's no such a thing you can get away with homework. You had to do.
Can you tell me can you remember anything else from school?
If I've done anything in school,
Can you remember anything else from school?
oh, the schools were lovely. We used to, when we get a little bit older, we used to chase the girls too. The teacher was screaming. And we used to go back and we used to get hiding. Or, if there was no hiding, you got to sit down on a big board and you got to write 100 times, I'll be a good boy, I'll be a good boy, by 100 times or 200 times.
Really?
Yeah, really, yes. And if you were still bad boy, you stand up while every lesson, you sit down in the corner there. No sit down, standing up for full air.
Can you tell me anything else about when you were little?
Okay, when I was a little, just at home, one day, my father used to have money everywhere. And I went and pick up a drachma, that means 10 cents. And the pinches to just pick it up. And I went to the playground, and I was lucky enough, and I won some sweets, 3-4 boxes of sweets. And I took it to my father back. I was so happy because I won. And you know what your grandfather done?
What?
He gave me a good hiding, a very good smack. He said, first of all, you should, when you want some money, you should ask for it. And the second thing, you should never gamble. So I don't forget that smack either. I remember that hiding. That was for my own benefit, of course. But I'll never forget that.
Have from me.
That's all you want?
Have from mine. Yeah.
Okay. And what about you, what you do in the school? Now it's my turn to ask you. How'd you like the school?
Pardon?
How'd you like the school? You better watch it because your teacher probably see it. And if she sees it, she's no good. The teacher's good?
Yeah.
You better say good. Otherwise, the teacher might get a smack. Do you get smacked sometimes?
No.
None at all.
Just get screamed at.
Not even once?
No.
Not even stand up on the wall?
No.
Well, you must be a good girl, aren't you? That's very good. All right. And one thing about how you go to school. Good at school?
Yeah.
You doing your homework?
Yeah.
You better say because I'm asking your daddy, your mother. So you do your homework?
Yeah.
Well, that's very good. You're a good girl, aren't you?
That's
You
sort
got to
of
listen to the
homework.
teacher. That's for the homework.
That's sort of homework.
That's a homework, isn't it? That's good.
That's sort of homework.
Okay. Yeah, my teachers are lovely, aren't they? Try to do the best they can to make you learn and be good and this and that. But you can't work hard, will you? All the time. Just like you, next time, you know what? We'll finish your work there. We'll be going to do the trim and the lawns.
Dear my next door Papu, thank you for being my spare next door Papu. I'm very sorry you had to leave your body, Papu. Lots of love, Charlie. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, friends, for not. I thought I'd make a little speech here, and I thought, well, okay, there's a lot of things I can say about my father, a lot of things I can say about my family. But there are a couple of special thank yous I think I should say first, because it's going to be difficult to get through the nice things I have to say about Dad and the family. During the last stages of Dad's illness, Mum and our family had the wonderful help of a band of angels from the ACT Palliative Care Unit. A bunch of wonderful people who not only made Dad's last days
a firmly, a truly, it's not that bad, comforting time with the caring assistance.
But the dedication, compassion and understanding to help my mother, sister, brother, nieces and nephews, to prepare the family in a way that allowed Dad
at home. To allow them all, including Dad, to experience the same thing, special, that will be with them
for a long time. It allowed them time to experience Dad's dying with love and dignity. It would be a sin if I didn't thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. I do not know from the time I was writing this enough words to show how grateful we all are. Your help and sensitivity is unbelievable and incredible. Another special thank you goes to Dr. Jamieson, who has been the family doctor for a while. He was always there for Mother and the family. Your devotion, your expertise and compassion in attending Dad's illness, and to Mum and to ease the pain and make him comfortable. And the treatment and respect you've shown to our family, I thank you from everybody. It doesn't sound enough, but it's from the bottom of our hearts. God bless you all and the nurses. Many years ago, whilst watching the TV news, a report came over there how this fit, young, successful fellow, 40 years old, collapsed on a tennis court and died while playing tennis with friends. And I took a lot of notice of that because it made me ask a few questions, and I wonder if it ever happened to me that if somebody passed away so suddenly, how I would feel. No warning, no emotional preparation. I just thought it'd be pretty hard, but it might be the best way to go. And I really don't know how long I pondered this question, but Jane and I thought the quick way was possibly the best way for a lot of reasons. I never really discussed that with Mum or Dad or anyone else, but some years ago when Dad became ill suddenly, and we nearly lost him then, without warning, my thoughts of a quick death changed. I'm so thankful that we had this extra time with Dad. It gave me more time to do more quickly the things that were coming, more important to me as far as my parents were concerned. Mum and Dad watched their children grow, and we've watched ours, and we've shared the happiness and achievements and disappointments as they grew older. To experience the same feelings and experiences my parents, I had to go back in their time, and I had to talk to them and ask them a lot of questions about their past, their early life, their feelings and their motives. This I didn't mind at all. The way they brought up myself, my brothers and sisters, it was a pleasure to be with them. I experienced a great childhood. I know it was a good one, because up until I became a teenager, I can remember a lot of the pleasant times. Hay, Chapel Street, Mansfield, where we spent a few years in the 1950s, and to me that period of time was a very nice, warm period in my life. You're supposed to be helping me here, Mum.
It's all right, it's
Mum,
just
Mum, I know what you and Dad have achieved together. It was a joint venture partnership, and that doesn't mean because today I'm talking about Dad that you haven't played an important part in the role. You certainly did. But whilst thinking about what to say today, I recall early thoughts of incidents in the 50s in Mansfield and later Canberra where I noticed the respect people had for Dad, his ability as a businessman, a person and a human being. His integrity as a loving father was building up. He wasn't a gang-ho, raider of the lost ark type of person. He had strong ideals, strong work ethic, ability to provide for his family, and honesty, which were only a few of his qualities. He was a gentle person, but strong in character. Dad was born in Greece in 1918, the son of a farmer and a builder. Dad had a good beginning in Greece, enjoyed the farm life, learning a trade, going to school, doing his chores that were given to him by his parents. He told me earlier this year when I experienced a nice time with him in Greece. He enjoyed trading fresh olives for fresh fish from the fishermen as they came in off the ports, and commandeered the baker with fresh olives for fresh bread. I recall a long time ago as a teenager, Dad told me he decided whether to come to Australia or America first. He tossed a coin to see which way he would come. Australia won. And it was only recently I asked Dad why he migrated to Australia when it appeared that he had everything going for him in Greece. He migrated to Australia. He said, I didn't migrate. I tossed a coin to see which country I would be starting my working holiday in, Australia or America. I remember the incident because Dad really wasn't well at the time. He was tired, but he was giving me some time together. And although I knew he was getting a little cranky, Those who know him love him and respect him for it. I quickly responded to this adjustment to my family history. You didn't migrate. Why didn't you tell me you didn't migrate? His quick response was, you never asked me. I was sure at the time his reply was said in a way to shut me up, but poor old Dad, his reply only made me ask more questions because I obviously wasn't asking enough. At 19 years of age, in 1937, Dad came to Australia. To me, a very romantic and innocent time. I relayed that to a couple of people today, and they said it wasn't that innocent, but to me it was, you know, the 1930s and the 1940s. And Dad went to Hay to work with Auntie Grace and his sister and her family. And George and Irene are here today. And they're nice to see. He had to work to pay his way because they paid for his holiday over here and he had to pay them back, but that was fine. And during that period he met some young men in Melbourne who, simply put, knew this Greek family of pretty girls and promptly introduced Dad to their 16-year-old daughter and sister. This beautiful daughter. And Dad hit it off. And this is the romantic part, number one, because a number of letters passed between Melbourne and Hay, and one simply put by Mum was one little letter read, "Marry me or else it's off." This is the romantic part, number two, because Dad summed up his not too many options, hired a cab and zoomed to Melbourne to rescue Mum. I don't know whether Dad realised how much he rescued you from, because fortunately he did, and fortunately you did too, Mother. As a couple and a family, they really didn't have to look back, because I know Hay, let me go back to this. As a couple and family, they really didn't look back. Although I now know Hay wasn't a place that Mum wanted to spend much time in. Dad was cooking meats for the soldiers, guarding the Japanese prisoners of war, until they broke out of freedom. Then they hid behind the door with the pickaxe handles in fear that they might invade the township of Hay. But that was too much for Mum and Dad, so they soon moved to Melbourne into Chapel Street. I've got some fond memories there, Savis, wherever you are. You're riding your bike from Melbourne Road, Moreland. The three young men Dad next met earlier were now my uncles, and they each had beautiful sisters each. And they were our aunties who produced some nice cousins. During this time, Mum and Dad worked hard, but because of the long milk bar hours in Chapel Street, they played hard. I don't think that was a term they used in the 50s, but I remember a lot of parties and good times. After a couple of years of being city slickers and not enjoying it, our parents found a milk bar or cafe in northeastern Victoria, in Mansfield, courtesy of a couple of the uncles. And here we as a family, lived behind the business, and in Mansfield I have distinct memories of how my father handled drunks, tomato sauce bottle stealers, and other people. And his ability to handle people was amazing. Mansfield was a nice time for me, and I'm sure it was with my brothers and sister. We had a secure and loving family life, and although I'm sure there were times and few words in anger were said behind doors, it was never really a distressing time. My teenage years are blank. During that time I ceased to be a human being, I'm sure, but we moved to Melbourne so that Mum and Dad's children could get a better education. We talked about that yesterday, didn't we, Mother? Well, that's what Mum said to me yesterday. During the early 1970s, I rang Dad for some business advice because I had enough at Melbourne and I was going to move my family to Wodonga or Albury, where I wanted to take my wife and young family. In the conversation, Dad encouraged me to come to Canberra, an opportunity with him. I told him I loved him, but I didn't really think I could work with him or for him. Give it 3 years, he said, then go to Albury and Wodonga and carry out your plans. Jane and I looked at Canberra, opportunity and greed. It was a very simple decision, wasn't it, Jane? And we thought 3 years we could handle. Well, we stayed longer than that. I think it was a good 8 years or 7 years, and we really enjoyed living there. I mention this little episode in my life because they are part of the areas where I can say I've experienced growth in the respect for my father. Seen the respect others have towards him, his ability as a business person, a husband and a family man. As I become more aware of myself and the important things to me, I believe his direct and indirect guidance he has given me has shaped me into someone I enjoy being. His attitude, devotion to his family, was his priority, and he had to be, and he has achieved a lot of success in that area. It hasn't been without its disappointments and tears and frustrations, and I feel certain I can speak on behalf of my sister and brothers that we're all proud to have had a father like our dad and a mother like our mum. That was a person I can say I have never heard anyone say he was a ratbag, a boozer, a wife, or a child beater, or a crook. He was tough in business. Soft in love. Someone said yesterday or this morning, he was a gentleman to the end. He's the loving grandfather of our children.
He's my mother's hero. He is our dad. And we love him.
And we're going to miss him
very much.
Aphrodite said yesterday, Peter was a loving and caring husband and father. He always put his family first and himself last. He was very protective of the family, a great man. He always made sure his family had the first fruit of the season. He would not eat of it before they had first. He was very giving. And that's the beautiful part that she, Aphrodite, will really miss. As Peter and Aphrodite had Ave Maria at their wedding 52 years ago, this was the music you walked into today. The family, from what I've seen and heard, is an exceptional one. And they've all really looked after Peter during his major suffering at the end. And I know Aphrodite is pleased they're there supporting her at this time. Young Lilani wrote the following letter to her papu. He'd always told her that when he died he would go to the moon, and that was his heaven. To my dear papu, I'll miss you very much, and so will everyone else. When I look up into the moon from now on, I'll see you hopefully looking down on our family. While you're up there with God and Butchie and Miffy, that's the cat and the dog, I believe, and with your 3 other grandchildren, we will all, the Stefanos, and all your friends, be down here thinking of you always. Love, hug, kisses forever, Lilani.
I lost my good friend, that's all, as far as I know. From Mariti, from Plumari. I had a good time in Plumari. Still I remember July 17.
Oh, I read that one.
I remember.
What's the band was it?
He was a very handsome man, you know, was a good man, a very handsome man, a good friend of mine, very honest. Very... He was my own... He was a good character. He was a tremendous father. Tremendous person. Honesty. I was going very well with him. He was trust me and trust him. And I've been very happy because I've been spent last few years very
Good
time with him. Very good time. In Plumari in Greece,
mandolins, guitars,
and here in Australia.
dancing, singing, and when I was young.
Yeah.
A lot of memories, and I won't forget it.
It's a great person. I was happy. I won't forget him. I won't forget. Always I remember.
And I feel young.
I remember when I got to always. See, how he's laughing, how he's smiling, how he's talking, how we're drinking, how we're singing.
You're welcome, Benyo.
Thank you, Peter.
Have a good time.
Welcome, Benyo.
Always. I remember him, and I hope to meet each other above the heavens. So one time, you never know. That's it. That's very good man. Very handsome man. Because I remember his father.
You remember his father?
Yeah, very well. Very well.
What about him?
He was a good man. He was a good friend of my grandfather, you know. He didn't like that.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. You can go back. That was the best mates. Always we're talking with your father. My grandfather, your grandfather, and another fellow, what they called John Protulis. You know, they was the three of them. Good life. Good. I remember him in Plumari before coming in Australia. Los Angeles, because they've been always together. Always together. He came from Island to Plumari in school. He was really gone. Because I was younger.
So you were younger?
Yeah, I was younger. We've been the same school, but different classes. I don't remember really. Yeah, I remember when he went to Athens. I remember him in Mansfield. He always was good to me. You know. About your mother. Very good. I've got nothing else to say. It's always. It's in my heart. It is in my heart. The person. We had a special friendship, wasn't it? It was like brothers. You know?
Oh, very special.
Yeah.
Well, that's the video. Remember the video? It was your connection and him together on the video. You know, it was just beautiful.
Yeah. He was there. We drinking the beer. You remember?
He was in there.
In Greece.
Yeah. After you left, that's a Santo Menu. And after I left, even grandfather, you know, it wasn't the same.
After everyone
Stay a couple of 3 days. I went a couple of 3 days. I couldn't drink it.
John Stefano was my best mate, and I've lost a very good friend. And why you shouldn't cry, but I bloody well do. So I can't help it. Good boy. Good man. Always got everyone out.
I'll have one if you have one, Tony. What's that? I am. You haven't, you've just been touring and giving. Oh, yeah, I know, it's there now. To the first, to the father's son. To the father's son. Where they're on their very happy on their journeys, exactly. Is that 7-star too? That's the way. Well, now I have to take Frank and Marion's and David's out. Phil, if you had yours.
You could do the same thing again.
To Peter. We're not shooting it though. I said running all the way down.
To Uncle Peter.
To Uncle Peter.
What was he like as an uncle, guys?
Favourite.
One of the best.
To Uncle Peter.
What was he like as an uncle?
The best. You shouldn't ask me.
Oh, wait there.
No, you don't. You know what he's like.
I knew what he's like as a father, but as an uncle, you know he's different.
You know what no difference. You know what he's like.
I was first class. I'm very, very sorry to see him. Happy in one respect that he's gone to better places, but very, very sorry to see him. Absolutely. I just wish that he could have lasted another 50 to 60 years.
Too hard.
No, very, very sad. He'd be sad.
Were you close to him when he was younger?
I can remember some very, very good things about him. First time was when my first recollection of him was when Dad, my father, and he and I, when I was about 8, we were walking in the city one day in Melbourne, and I can recall looking at this gun, this toy gun in a counter, and asking my dad to buy it for me. And of course, he obviously didn't didn't want to buy it. And I can recall the first time Uncle Peter ever said anything was, "Go on, George, get it for the boy, buy it for the boy. Don't be stupid, buy it." And of course, my dad bought it, and I thought, this Uncle Peter's a good guy. And from that time on, I became acutely aware of Uncle Peter and how good he was. And that lasted throughout his entire life. Thank you.
No, I can't quite recall something vividly, but honestly, he was a gentleman, a true gentleman, and you can't say more than that.
I remember Uncle Peter as being an excellent cook.
Excellent cook?
Yes, and I used to enjoy the barbecues over in that shed there on the table every time I'd come up, and the last time was in January '94, which I came up to and had a... Unfortunately, I caught Uncle Peter on his own. It was an afternoon, it was good. It was nice and sunny, very hot, and the father looked very tan and very healthy, and very happy. And we cooked up some octopus, I believe, if I can recall, and we had a beer and we drank. It was very nice, and we had a conversation later on in the afternoon before everybody else had come, and it was good. It was very enjoyable, and that's my last really good memory.
What was your first one? That's when you were a kid. What was your first one?
I suppose the first one was in Pascoe Vale at the house in Reynolds Road.
Reynolds Parade?
Reynolds Parade, that's it. And that was the first memory. And I think I was more overwhelmed by all the cousins being together and everybody, and the big house and the steep driveway. I think that's about it that I can really remember at that time. It was just too many people around to remember an individual. I can always remember his cooking. It's always been good. I always enjoyed, because I'm a foodie.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time cooking. You really do, didn't you?
Well, I remember your father when Sam brought him up from Melbourne.
Second son. First son, Emmanuel, Zayden.
Someone of his countrymen brought him up to put him a party in a restaurant. I remember your father then was very cheerful, very happy man. He wants to meet people. He was very happy wherever he was going, although he didn't work out with these people because they brought him up for a reason. He makes other business. He never criticized anyone. I never heard him abuse anyone. He always liked to be respected, that he was respect everyone. God bless you.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Notice? No cognac? Notice? Mountain Dew? She's old enough, mate.
There's the other Papu. And your granddaughter do well with that poem, eh?
The minister said that too?
Yeah, I read it. She wrote it just after Papu died. Yeah, here. And then we all went in and then she showed everyone and put it on this where he was laying in the state. It's beautiful. She's just spot on. Spot on. Spot on.
So what do you think of your granddaughter?
Excellent.
Excellent, huh?
Very good.
What did you think of Peter?
Pardon?
What did you think of Peter?
Good.
Yeah. Any funny stories?
Yeah. That was your idea, wasn't it? I heard the grapevine.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. There she is. There she is.
She's beautiful, yeah. Oh, no, she's beautiful.
That's the letter girl, see?
Yeah. Oh,
lovely little woman. Lovely little woman. Look at yourself?
Pardon?
You look at yourself?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I thought it'd be okay until I was walking the church and saw Dad standing there and thought, oh, shit, no, this is going to be a bit bad. And then sort of held it back a bit. And then we walked in and I saw, because it was the same place where Pop was, where Pa was, sorry. Remember? Pa was there.
Yeah, right.
And I can't remember Pa's thing, but I know I didn't cry at Pa's either. And walked in and saw Dad standing there. Mum and I went and stood with Dad, and then he was a bit teary-eyed, and I thought, you know, I thought, you know, I got the hero attitude. I thought, you know, I'll be strong and everyone can, you know, cry on my shoulder. And then got in there and sat down. You know, you took me, made me sit, or not made me, but took me down to sit next to David. And saw the coffin, and that was, you know, that made me start to cry. And then concentrated on the video on the television. I thought, oh, what's that little feature on the video there? Oh, NTSC and POW and that. You know, Dad should get that. And then I was okay, and you know, just a few tears and stuff, but nothing major. And then when Dad got up, that's, you know, that was that. You know, I was like, shit. And you know, Dad just brought it all out. I just think it's in there thinking, shit, Dad, why are you doing this to us all? But and then, you know, and then looked across to Mum, and Mum was crying, and then Dad couldn't start his eulogy, so Andy got up there, and then Mum got up there, and then I didn't know whether I should get up there because there were two people up there already, and Dad said to me, you know, get up there, and I don't know. And Dad said to me before we all went to the, what was it? Was it a church or what was it?
Yeah.
Is it a church?
No.
Do you classify as it a church?
Now.
No,
where
we were.
Yeah.
Is that classified as a church? A chapel.
Yeah.
And Dad said to me, you know, if I get choked, come up. And
Yeah,
I couldn't go, you know, because I know I wouldn't be much support. Because if I got up there, I would start bawling my eyes out too, and you know, wouldn't be any help for Dad.
Yeah.
So I didn't get up there. But Dad's thing really shook me, and then Warney's thing. I thought Warney's thing was just. Warney's was just. Each time I look at the moon now, I just think of Pop. I wish he'd said something to me like that.
Well, he has. Through Lani.
Yeah, you know, each time I look at the moon, I think of Pop now. And I came here today and we walked in and thought, might go for a swim, and I went out and tested the pool and thought, what's going to happen to the pool? Who's going to look after the pool? And then walked out and had a look around the garden and just said, you know, hi Pop. And
filming Matthew's dirty ear or something? Or is it that hair hanging out of his nose?
He hasn't changed it.
No, I cut them all before I came.
Glad.
Not like yours.
No, that's my bum, not my
Coming out your nose.
Forget him.
And came out and said hi to Pop, to his garden over there. And I know it was strange when we pulled up. I thought, you know, I'm coming to see Yaya. I didn't even, you know, Pop's not here. It felt weird that Pop wasn't here anymore. Just strange. And then when Dad gave me the phone number last week for the house here, I only wrote Yaya. I didn't write Yaya and Pop. So I don't know. I looked in it last night to ring Dad to say, you know, just to talk to him and see how he was and stuff. And it only said, and realised it only written Yaya.
What was he like as a grandfather?
Pretty good. And when the priest said, you know how Yaya gave the guy, the priest, is he a priest or a chaplain or whatever he was, priest, some words to say, he said how Pop, you know, would get the best fruit and stuff. I remember Pop getting watermelon, and he'd like half a watermelon for one day, I remember. And there was a Nietzsche's Aunt Ben and I, and that's all there was, and Maya was a little girl, well, a baby still. And I think it was half a watermelon, and he cut it up, and Yaya was out, and it was just us here, I think. Well, then everyone else may have been outside or something, and he cut it up, and we all started eating it, and Pop wouldn't have any until we'd had enough, and we'd eaten it all, and Pop didn't mind, and you know, that's what we're like with the fruit. You know, he wouldn't eat any until his kids had had enough, and then if there's any left, he'd eat it. So, I don't know. I'm just glad I went to Greece with him, that's all. But I'm sorry that Ben didn't go to Greece with him. It would have been. But I spoke to Ben tonight on the phone, and he was upset that he couldn't make it down. But, I don't know. I suppose everyone's got to go some stage. And Dad's saying whether, you know, you go quickly or go slowly. Like how long Pop's been, what, 3 or 4 years? 4 years. Everyone's been knowing for 4 years that Pop's going to die, and you know, whether it comes down to going like that or going over 4 years, you know, it made me think whether it's better to go. Couldn't handle losing my dad. Couldn't handle that at all. or my mum. I don't know. It's weird. I wish I was just like a little kid again, because then I wouldn't remember much about it. Like with Pa, I didn't remember much about it. But now I'm older and, you know, have more feelings and stuff. Makes it even worse. He was a good granddad. With the plum tree. Plum tree used to take us picking plums and stuff, and the apples and the pears.
Yeah.
They're pears, weren't they? Yeah. And the carrots. Then I used to come and flog all his carrots.
The peas?
And he'd never get mad at us. He'd never get mad at us. We'd steal all his fully grown carrots. He'd never get mad. And Ben, I think Ben used to flog the peas because Ben likes peas. Yeah. I don't know, I miss him.
Oh, it was good to go to Greece with your father.
Ready?
It was good to have that kinship where all I knew was Margie's side of the picture, but to have your mum and dad's history involved in it too. It was nice having him there. It was very comforting. I think it was good for your dad, and it was even better for your mum.
Okay.
It was nice for him to remember everything. And I think he was glad to get home.
Yeah.
What about the service?
The service.
This whole thing.
Oh, this has been really nice. It's been really nice, mate. It was nice how John got up there. I was really wrapped with that. That was nice. It was good to see that side of John, which I never knew. You know what I mean? I always thought he was an old fuddy-duddy old bugger. I'm only kidding, John. No, it was just nice to see that side, and the video you done was really nice. I really appreciated that. It was great. Everything sort of made me, it sort of hit home from a few years ago what I've just gone through. But it was nice to have that whole aspect of like the family there and a bit of history coming through at the same time. So just to jug your brain a bit, it was nice. Thanks, mate. You've done well. You've all done well. You're a fantastic family. I love you immensely.
Hello, Emmanuel. How are you? You're not going to ask me how I feel now. I feel okay now. I wasn't feeling too good before, but I feel okay now. I had my happy tie on, and I had to take my happy tie off and put my other tie on because I didn't think my happy tie was appropriate. But I think I'll go back and put my happy tie on now because I feel good about it now.
Couldn't you work if that was appropriate for Dad? If you're happy
well,
with your
that's
tie,
why I
then
did
you
it.
would have been
And I thought
easy.
everybody would have their happy tie on, although your tie is pretty happy sort of a tie.
Well, it's my daughter who gave me my tie.
Yeah,
So.
that's got good taste too, huh?
Yeah. So tell me about, when it's my father, grandchildren, all that sort of thing. Grandfather, what role has he been for you?
To tell you the truth, Peter for me was like my father would be in Canberra, because I wasn't real close to my father, my actual father. But Peter was that sort of person that you could, Peter was the sort of person you could talk to, and he wouldn't actually offer advice, but he'd sit there and listen to it. You know? I'm not talking about personal stuff, I'm talking about everyday sort of stuff. And it was good just to have somebody do that. And I felt very close to Peter, as everybody did, that come in touch with Peter. Peter was that sort of person. But he was a gentle, sweet sort of a guy. And that's all I'm going to say, man.
No, you're a great family.
Okay.
You're a great family. And your father should be proud of you all.
I think he was.
I do too. Didn't know him well enough. But I think he was a very brave man, going through what he's been through, and knowing that, going through something similar myself. And your mother. Wonderful people. I'm proud that part of my family is part of your family.
Mum was magnificent.
Yes.
She was absolutely, I couldn't believe it. The change happened in a week, less than a week. It certainly brought us all together.
Yes. Well, that's what families are all about, aren't they? Emmanuel's telling me how good you've been. It's all part of the job, like you said. Are you and Andrew? I was just saying, what a special family.
Yes. That's what I was telling my sisters before. I hope our family is as good as this one and something like this happens to us.
To my best mate.
That's what he
Uncle
said.
Peter.
What he said.
He was too.
Lovely, lovely man.
Worry man.
He was.
Did you know him? Did you know Papu?
Did you remember Papu? You met him a couple of times. What I liked about Papu is the extended family. Our family's not close like that. It's nice to have a different family.
Look at him, my darling cousin, who I thought was so romantic. It was a legend.
Very sad.
Remember his laugh the most, his laugh, his good humour. And we had little private jokes together through the years, just at Burbs and at Magamba and different places, just little chit-chats together. Most of all, I just remember his laugh and his good humour, and on the surface nothing troubled him, but I think deep down it did, but he never showed it. And he taught me a lot about life. I used to like a lot about his philosophies in life. His philosophies. I remember that.
What was he like as a father-in-law?
Oh, great. Great. Couldn't ask for a better guy. He was my father for many, many years. Because my parents weren't here in Canberra, so I looked up to him like, as a father, as a real father. I'll have pleasant memories for years and years to come. That's all.
My father doesn't drink, so I had to toast an oyster with him to my grandfather, my father's father.
Always started with Dad at the fire.
This is Dad's barbecue.
Yeah,
I can always picture him here.
We lit this barbecue because every time this barbecue got lit, the sun would come out. And it would stop raining.
Yeah, I remember that he always used to say to you that he was cursed.
Bad luck, mate. Every time I had a barbecue and it'd rain, I'd come here and Pete'd say it like this, and every time I did this, the sun would shine.
Been a tremendous friend, somebody I'll always remember. Tremendous friend. 40 hours some week. Yeah, somebody was always very fair to me. Anything I did with him, always treasure his memory. Sure.
Well, what do you remember about him?
We loved your father, Manuel, and we always looked upon him as a brother, not as a brother-in-law. And we have this sadness inside of us that he has left us forever, but we will always remember him, always. He will never be forgotten. Being here now, I can feel his presence, that he's with us, and he's very happy. He's very happy that we are all here together. All I can say, he's been a wonderful father and a wonderful husband and a wonderful brother-in-law, which we will never forget him.
It is lovely.
We have very fond memories of him. We miss him a lot. It will never be the same again when your mother comes down without your father. It will never be the same. What else? What else did you want to know about your father?
What was he like as a young man?
See, all the lovely things have been said about your father. There's nothing more left for me to say, really. It's all been said.
What was he like as a young man? With Uncle
Handsome.
George and...
He was handsome. They got on well together with George. He was the life of the party. I always remember him Christmas time, New Year's Eve, when he used to sing the calendar for us. In Essendon, there'd be a knock on the door, we opened the door, and there was your father. singing the Christmas carols, which it was beautiful. We always miss him without him. What other nice thing? Everything is nice. Whatever we remember about your father, they're all nice memories. What else can I say?
Sorry, and the children, the same everything.
Well, Timber, that now Elaine, as she said, she doesn't know what to say. Well, what is left for us to say now that we loved him very much?
And θυμόμαστε όσο τον ζούμε, περάσαμε πολύ καλά τα χρόνια μας ωραία. Πόσα θα είναι 50 years μου που γνώρισα τον μπαμπά σας. He's a lovely boy. Και
one day I know that we will join them, all their loved ones above. And I think that's what keeps us going.
Theo Marcus and your father, like brothers, real brothers.
They are. They really got on well together, the four.
Very close, isn't it?
The four of them, they really got on well together.
So they'll be all together now. They'll be all together now.
Εύχομαι πια ο Θεός, τα λογοελληνικά, the God, είναι the best place, the best place. To live in life, to remember your father. Very sad. To live and remember all of them. Well, what else I can say, love? Auntie Julie, she's told everything. Otherwise, I remember. He's a lovely brother-in-law. Not really brother, I feel a little brother, not brother-in-law. He's lovely. He respects us. Your father respects us.
Yes, he did.
And lovely. So, και άλλο δεν μπορώ να πω τίποτα, ήταν lovely, τον θυμόμαστε γι' αυτό, μέσα μας, very deep. Very deep, very deep. Never forget him in a life. Εύχομαι τον God, τη μαμά σου, να της δίνει καλή υπομονή και κουράγιο να ζήσει, να τον θυμάται πάντοτε. Και εσείς, να τον θυμόσαστε πάντοτε τον παπά σου.
You will never forget your father, that's
never
for sure.
forget. Never forget. Never forget.
And to us, he's been very supporting, especially when Uncle George has gone.
Is it right?
He was very supporting to me. I will never forget that. I was looking forward of seeing your mother and father coming down to Melbourne. We had wonderful times together, especially Christmas and Easter. I always missed him then. We had beautiful times together.
Θυμόμαστε στο Πασκαβάλ, when we say you flash in second house all the time, together, everything all the time, only μαζί. Never forget this. Still remember. I can't think of something they want to
We want to express, we want to say a lot more, but we just can't think at the moment.
I can't think.
Maybe another time we'll have more to say. At this time, at this stage, we just can't. I'm afraid we might start crying, so I better not say.
Horrible, huh? What a horrible thought. Huh? What a horrible thought. That's okay.
No, it's not a horrible thought. It's because we loved him so much, and we will miss him so much. That is the reason why we want to cry. And when you cry, you feel relieved, a little relieved. But unfortunately, I can't cry very easy, but I can feel inside tightness inside of me. I can't.
Peter was saying, happy days.
Happy days.
Happy days for him and for us.
And may God bless Peter.
Yeah, bless him. Bless him.
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. You've been wonderful help to us.
My great pleasure.
Comfort. And experience something.
That's a lovely.
Something I couldn't understand it at first, and it's such a beautiful experience. But I did feel that lovely warmth. I felt it all through the house.
Yeah.
But no,
and it's something that you don't.
I agree so easily.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Mm.
And you don't know before.
I don't think I would have accepted as easily as what I did with you.
Yeah. Well, it was just the right timing.
Maybe, or you too, I think. It was just the way, somehow.
Well, it's my pleasure. I'm glad I could help out. But it was a family decision. We all had to be able to say, yes, we can do this.
Yeah. Well, I realised afterwards the family would have loved to have had him here, but they didn't want to say anything.
Well, that's right. They didn't want to put any pressure on you. And it's a big decision to make.
It was then, before, but once I made it.
Well, there's no turning back, is there? And you couldn't imagine making any other decision then, could you? No. And I think Peter was really happy to be at home.
Well, I hope he realised that he was.
Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Yeah. Well, that lovely smile at the end there of that little baby, he knew he was happy to be home with his family.
I don't know whether I mentioned it to you or not, but there was Catherine next door.
Oh.
Said she has 2 Asian girls, students, boarding with her, and they're both Christians. And one of them in particular felt the last few days before Peter passed away, they felt some unusual vibes around them. And they felt very uncomfortable.
Did they? Yeah.
And one of them saw someone or some shadows, not human form, but they were
like beings of or spirits, whatever.
Yes. Out in amongst the bushes.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Yeah. And they were really scared, you know. So I don't know whether they spoke to the priest or whether they had the priest come over or what. And
to bless the house.
Well, I'm going to ask a little bit more about it. And just to help them out. And then they told Catherine their experiences. Is there anybody around this area here that's having problems with the health, or there's something really going on close by? And Catherine said yes, and my next door neighbour is very ill. So
it's wonderful, isn't it?
It's amazing, it makes you wonder.
Yeah. Well, I think, you get all that support.
Yeah.
And it's just not physical support that we're aware of. And the fact that somebody else who didn't really know what was happening actually saw these spirits or whatever. There's so much we don't know and don't understand.
Right.
It's nice to think we have helpers on the other side that are here to help us on our journey and to help the family. They were probably here protecting the house and protecting all of you.
Yes, that's true too.
And waiting for Peter.
Yes, they say for 40 days the spirit is on earth.
Yeah.
So there's something there, I believe in it very much.
Yeah. And that's very much part of the Greek tradition, isn't it? With the beliefs
the 40 days.
And the Buddhists believe that too. That there's an extended period of time before the essence or the being actually leaves the body and it's still in physical presence. So there's a lot of crossovers.
Yeah.
So do you have times of celebration at the end of that 40-day, or do you do
Oh yes, they
ritualistic
have
things?
more church, but we can't.
Yeah.
But we have the respect of our yours.
But you can do all that in your own home, like light a candle or do something ritualistic at home. Yeah.
But I feel myself that every time I go out there in the yard, I see the garden, and I feel that Peter is here with us.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. It's not a frightening feeling. It's just a wonderful feeling.
You don't feel uncomfortable, do you? It's nothing ugly or sinister. It's just
when you love someone,
That's right. And you feel a real sense of peace, don't you? And it's lovely because you don't feel alone. And as much as it'll be hard for you sometimes, you really will miss them.
When I'm left alone when the girls, up till now I've had a house full of people,
She will have to be strong.
But Peter will be here for you, you know. You'll find yourself talking to him, and you'll probably even have visions. He may even come to you sometimes and let you know that he's okay, that he still loves you. When you've had a very close relationship, it's not unusual.
Have you heard of anyone, you know, having visions?
Well, I have. Lots of people sometimes say, you know, if someone had a favourite chair, they often see them in the chair in the morning.
Yes,
I had one man that had a very close relationship with his wife. He just adored her, and they had no children, so they were very, very close. And soon after she died, he felt that she had come in the early hours of the morning and was sort of laying down beside him in the bed, and he went out to touch her, and she disappeared, but she smiled, and he said, such a beautiful smile, but he wasn't afraid, and he really felt she was there because he could smell her perfume, and he really knew she was there for him, and she doesn't come to him anymore, but she did in the very early days, and she had actually said she would try and maintain the contact with him in some small way, and so that sort of was kind of special for him too.
Yeah, of course, it's something beautiful.
Yeah, and I don't believe there's any things like hallucinations. I think they're all very real experiences, and you don't need to negate them at all. I think that if you have a vision like that, I think it's like a gift, and it's very special.
You feel as if they are, so you feel as if they are with you all the time.
Yeah, and they do. I think they walk with us.
Yes.
And I can't imagine Peter ever not supporting you.
No.
He'll always be
He
there
was
for
very
you.
protective.
And he'll be watching over the children. He's not going to let anyone get away with anything. He's going to keep a close eye on everybody. So you'll have to watch out there. And you'll imagine, you'll find yourself asking him for advice, and he'll talk to you. You just keep your heart open. And
I was very, very fearful, and no way. And then the following week, she was comfortable with the Saturday, made a mind up about the Saturday, and Sunday I think reinforced it. And you spoke about the gifts. And it was amazing to see the transformation, not only with Mum, but the whole family. And it came together in such a way. And then the moment when Dad was ready to say goodbye, Mum was going to rush off to do some shopping, and she's got the message. And then she's sent out the call to everybody, and whoever could came, which most of us did
it's
come.
incredible, isn't it?
And I came into it, and like in Indonesia, people we learnt meditation from, were like teachers, but not gurus or anything, and they spoke about guidance. You get guidance from God or from a higher source, and that will come through one person in a group. And it was Mum had it. And she was taking Dad through it.
Without even knowing. Not even
you were taking
aware.
Dad through it, and you were taking not only Dad, you were taking the family.
And it's that very strong. And see, it's because you function from your heart, and your mind doesn't step in the way. Well, it can, but there was such a strong feeling that you acted on it that it prevented you from leaving the house. That's what I think is wonderful.
Yes.
I think that's exceptional.
It was beautiful. But I also, it was you. It was you that was giving me.
Well, it was part of it.
The message,
not the message, but it was through Debbie that I felt, it helped me so much.
Well, I was just helping to facilitate it, because as I told you, it didn't matter to me what decision you made. I would support you whatever you made. They're the times when you think, I wish it would end quickly, and they are. And then he got through that and became very peaceful, and that's when everything sort of fell into place, and then it was a lovely sort of gentle time then with the family. It was just like a birth, where you're just waiting for that new baby to come as that time of transition, and that's what happened at the end there. And you could actually see him beginning to glow towards the end. There was a lovely peace that that he radiated, and that touched everybody. It touched me too when I walked in the house. So.
Yes.
But I think you're a very special family, and not all families have such love.
No.
For each other, and I think that's what made it so special.
Everybody has it, Every family.
But no, it doesn't. Not all families are so caring, and it is a special family, and that's very precious. And the groundwork that you've laid with your children, you're laying for your grandchildren, and all those little children sharing in the dying process, and this lovely memorial here that Emmanuel's left. They're wonderful gifts, and it's just something that you can't swap for anything. And it's hard to kind of express it and share it with other people because they really can't imagine what it would be like. So it's kind of it's like a sacred experience for everybody.
It is.
And so you sort of learn to be discriminating, but it's good to share with other people so that if you do, because you've had this wonderful experience yourself, you actually can help other people if you come across other people that are wondering what to do and wondering if they can do it because you've had such a wonderful time. And it seems strange to say that with a dying, you know, with a dying process.
Tell their relatives and friends, you know, the way how I felt. It would be a wonderful world if people were like you, you know. And God's not, if he only knew, God wasn't punishing him because he died so peacefully.
That's
you
right.
know.
Yeah. It was very gentle.
He died so peacefully.
And it was a gentle death for a gentle man.
Especially the family loved him so much. So that wasn't punishment.
No,
it was a beautiful gift from God,
Yeah.
having such a beautiful family to love him.
And with that little bit
This
of
morning I
struggle,
went out, I said, "Good morning, Peter. We're with you, you're with us, and your garden is looking beautiful. I don't think we'll ever forget you." I felt good going out to see the garden this morning, how beautiful it looked. It makes you feel good, knowing that, you know, he's looking over us. And
that's right.
I believe in that very strongly.
And it's in some ways because it has been such a wonderful experience, he sort of paved the way for everybody. So you have that to look forward to too, because you know he's there, and there'll be a lot of joy and love there waiting for all of you too. You'll sort of, you know, it'll be a real celebration. So it's nice to have that link, and he was the one that had to pave the way for the family. And that's a special role to take.
Well, that there is just what we showed at the chapel. And I recorded the sound, so my brother making his speech, his tribute and being supported by Andrew and his wife and Leilani's letter about seeing Dad in the moon. And you know,
What was that? What was that letter?
oh, it was beautiful.
Was it? Is that recorded on the actual?
No. So this is just the first part of it. And then after the ceremony, I came back and I recorded some people who were here that knew him and got their reactions, how they saw Peter Stefano. So the idea is, and then I'm going to do a whole video of it.
Oh, right. Oh, how
So,
lovely. Yeah.
It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
And then I'd like to add parts of this to it as well.
Yeah. So that'll be a lovely memorial, really. Yeah. It's a healing too to do it, isn't it? To do something like this. It's really positive, and it gives meaning to someone's life, and also gives meaning to your own life, I think. You know, it's like that continuation. And nice, I think, to share with the next generation.
Yeah. And the next, and the next.
That's right, that's right.
He always told the grandchildren that he's going up to the moon, you know, so
Did he?
now the children...
So this is
they
this
see
where
the moon
this
and
little
they talk to
poem
the
that
moon
came.
before.
So how old was the girl that wrote the poem?
She's 13.
Oh, right.
13. But it touched everybody, of course.
The little girl next door, she wrote a few words, her next door before.
And the most beautiful interview, if you like, was with Matthew, who was the first son, the first grandson.
Yeah.
And he summed up his reaction to the whole service, saying things like, I wish Papa said to me about the moon, him and the moon. Because I said he did through Leilani. You know, so it was sort of, rather than... But it just touched so many adults too.
He was
you
away
know?
from an early age, so I lived up at the surface, and then I went back to Melbourne. So they didn't grow up with us.
Right. So he didn't have as
So
much. But then it's interesting because he still was obviously very close.
Oh,
to your
yes,
life
yes. So he didn't have the chance to tell them these little things, you know.
But he said, I was so glad I went to Greece with him this year.
Well, was that wonderful?
So it was
I didn't know that happened. So that would have been a really wonderful bonding and would have made up for the times that he maybe didn't have that closeness when he was growing up. Oh, that's lovely. So how long did they go to Greece for?
We went
How many
in
of you
June,
went?
July,
Did you?
August.
All right.
He was sick too. I mean, he was very sick, ended up in hospital there.
He got thrombosis in the leg, so it wasn't a very...
So it was really a journey
happy.
home to say goodbye.
Yes.
And to where he was born and
That's right.
family ties and
That's right.
part of who he was.
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. What a wonderful journey that must have been. Yeah.
Well, it was horrible in many things from this end.
Yeah.
The fear.
Yeah.
And Matt arrived in the middle of that.
Did he?
And so, but still coming back from it, it was just a wonderful experience for him.
Yeah.
And so grateful. And he went with his father and his own father, and they became closer. And
I think it's brought us closer too, Matthew.
How old was Matthew? Was he much older than?
22.
Right, well, he's still only very young.
Yes.
But that what he said last night touched Maya. I showed it to them last night and touched my daughter in a way that, so it's just, so everyone's growing.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful?
Yes.
And it's the best legacy he could leave.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, it's very, well, I think what's lovely is that everything has fallen so much into place that what benefits one has benefited the whole. It's just not been one-sided for anybody, has it? So if you hadn't have taken the step to allow your darling man to die at home and to be with the family, you wouldn't have had the same wonderful, sort of experience. Everything's sort of been completed, and it's like planted new scenes, hasn't it? Really, to continue on, and so there's been so much that has evolved since then. And by you taking that courageous step, as much as everybody really wanted you to make the decision, they weren't going to influence you in any way, but by saying, well, yes, I'll do this, it just was a big step for everybody, and it brought so many gifts for everybody. And that's what's so wonderful, Effie, if you had it. And it would have been just as wonderful if you had made the decision for him to go to hospital. It just would have been different. Things would have still happened. It just allowed things to come to full fruition here, I think, in his own home, where he's put so much energy in, and where he was more available for the family and the children. That wouldn't have been the same in the hospital, probably.
I think it would have been more of a loss rather than the fruits.
Yeah, well, who knows? It's just that it's almost like following that inner knowingness and being, even if you're not aware of it, but just because you intuitively allowed it to all happen, you really did have to overcome your fear and whatever resistance you had. You were being asked to grow too. You were being asked to expand yourself, and you could have said no, and that would have been okay. But by allowing yourself to do it, it just did so much, didn't it? And I feel very privileged in sharing it all with your family, because I think you're just a very, very special, wonderful family, and it touched me. So I thank you for allowing me to be part of it all. And for Peter, bless him, I don't think he really enjoyed my visits much, because I represent the person that had to come and do all the things.
I told him, I said, got wonderful girls here looking after you. I said, that could be a bit rough, but I said, that's nurses. They're only trying to make you comfortable. And take away your pain and all that. So.
It's hard. And it's part of the letting go.
And if they were going to be gentle like we ordinary women, they would never get their work done.
That's
it would be impossible to.
And sometimes, we might seem like we're in a bit of a rush, or we don't have a lot of time to do things. But sometimes we just see the need, and because we deal with it all the time, we're able to step over some of the emotional barriers, because we can see what has to be done. And like that time I was here when he had his last injection, and that was very difficult when he really fought. He was so confused, and he was up and he was trying to take his clothes off. And he really didn't know where he was or what he was doing. And Andrew literally had to hold him while I gave him the injection. And I know that wasn't a very pleasant thing, but it had to happen. And he just settled after that and stopped fighting. And sometimes you get to nitty-gritty things where it can become difficult and can be quite distressing for the family, because you don't want to see someone suffer like that. It was.
Give you a little gift for all you girls. Have a Christmas drink.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, that's lovely.
Box
Thank
of
you
chocolates
very
and
much.
some.
Oh my goodness.
And some don't have a Christmas drink.
That's lovely. I'll definitely toast Peter.
Peter's, yes, Peter's.
Oh, that's lovely.
Happy landing.
That's right. That's right. Oh, that's lovely. Well, this is definitely welcome, because a lot of us work over the Christmas period, and it's nice to have something there where you can all. We don't always have a little drink. If we're off duty, we come in and share that time together.
Yeah.
Because it is a time for family. So this is lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, everyone will appreciate that. That's lovely.
Yes, you're all wonderful.
The idea was personally, but it's up to you. But the idea was to do that was to share it with your colleagues, put the video on, and have a drink to Peter. You know?
Yeah, that'll be lovely. Well, I might even take this home tonight and have a look in my own quiet time. 7 or 6. I'm sure whatever you have, you'll be happy. But she only had one child. It was difficult, and I came out to Australia by myself with the 2 girls. Came out from America. And if I'd stayed in America, I would have had another baby there. But I decided to let it go and come out here. My children are very young, and I don't regret that. It's different personalities, but I think that's well, you know.
I blame the age.
Well, it is.
The age.
That's what my mum better than love my mother. So my family are all Australian. People, when they're dying, break down all the barriers. So it is a special time in people dealing with dying people, but I think it's something that's like a calling. It's something that we're all drawn to. And all the women I work with are just beautiful people. Everyone has something for off, so we have like a part. So it's sort of part-time work. But there's sort of a consistency with the care. And I think they're all really special people. I'm very lucky, I think, to work with such wonderful people.
You're a lovely nurse. The way you make it sound.
All the girls are
the way you make it sound.
We have one man on our team, but he works nights. He's only a new recruit. But I think you have. Is this like women that love to work with young children? Or,
yes, it's a special husband.
He's having his birthday all by himself. What have you got here? Isn't that lovely? It's very unusual.
It shouldn't open.
Is it meant to have some secret potion in there, or
no?
Nothing special.
Nothing. I just like the look of it.
Does it open?
While it was in
unusual.
Greek.
It's like a little
yeah, you know.
Put pills in there or something.
Poison.
Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
Does
They
open it?
Yeah, so there's something wrong with it. That it doesn't clip on. I must take it to. Oh yes, you're supposed to open it.
It's very unusual, isn't it? Were these yours too? What else was on the table?
You can't put anything in it, I will lose it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not safe.
The message I had today was from
patient
Emmanuel.
husband.
Oh, yeah, he's patient.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
he's
good
very good.
because
He's a real sweetheart. Well, he's a counsellor. Maybe that's why he's so patient. He has his moments too. With these bottles. You want to help me carry these out to the car?
Okay.
They're all beautiful. We've just put up our Christmas tree. It was just a little baby one about this thing. And we gave it to St Vincent or somewhere. Because we had a real tree last year. Well, thank you very
The
much.
fresh trees are nice, but they left such a lot of mess.
Oh, I know. We found it. We left ours in a bucket of water. And we had Andrew's son, he gave me a little bonbon. He cut it out, little pieces of paper. And he coloured them in. He said, "This is for you. I've got to go now."
Well, you can give your own love, actually.
What's that?
Give your own love now, too.
Oh, well, I just send my love to all the family, and I think you're all very special and wonderful. And I want to thank you very much for allowing me to share this special time with you all. So God bless you all.
Thank you. The same to you.
It's lovely to meet you too. And have a good trip back to
Bye-bye.
Melbourne.
Thank you. Thank you. And wish you all the best for Christmas and the New
thank
Year.
you.
And thanks again for being wonderful to the family.
Well, as I told you, I couldn't help but loving these people. They're just so beautiful. It nurtures
I
me
can
too.
believe
You
you.
see.
I believe you.
You get what you return. It was lovely to meet you too. So you're the big sister of this wonderful family. I know what that's like because I'm the eldest too. So yeah.
Oh well, I wish you a happy
thank you so much.
Happy
You
New
too.
Year.
Yeah, you take care of yourself.
Thank you very much.
Okay. For your family watching all these movies. I've got my copy. I'm going to watch.
So thank you for everything. And keep on doing this beautiful work.
I know you're going to have your moments.
Yes.
There'll be times when it's really hard.
Yes, once I'm left on my own then.
Yeah, I know.
It'll
And
start all
they're
over
the
again.
hardest. They're the hardest times.
now.
But sometimes it just hits you all of a sudden. You're not prepared for it, But just remember that he's with you all the time. He'll always be with you. And you're a beautiful lady. You really are. I think you're very special.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
nephew white. Red writing
No.
in the government.
No, yeah, I thought I did have red writing on it. I realised it would be the government.
No, we're very lucky. We're very lucky.
Yes, yes.
It's a government service.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Now you know why
Yes, yes. Whatever you did for her now, she deserves it.
Come necessarily to give you advice. Nice. More comfort than advice. More comfort.
Yeah. She was a godsend. Are we going in there
We're going straight out of there.
Chain the baby up.
Change the baby up.
Should do this to our kids.
It's like in Greece, isn't it?
Marion Hamley did it. And I have another one the same. Yeah, the different colours.
It is.
Yep.
Unusual.
She's surrounded by this. This is what she does all the time, you know?
Lovely, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that, that's most unusual.
But everything. Look at the mirror with the pitchfork there. See this mirror? Yeah.
The mental things, those.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. They look beautiful on that too.
I do.
Online.
Yes, all these little things are nice.
And they seem to stay whole and it just burns inside.
Have we got a sail?
A big sail. That's what we got with next to my little pumpkins. Oh, yeah.
You like this jewellery, don't you?
Peter was saying, happy days.
Happy days.
When
Happy
he-
days.
Happy days for him and for us.
And may God bless Peter.
Yeah, bless him. Bless him. To rest. Is to your health. Happy days, happy healthy days. Ναι.
Happy days όλοι μου. Γι' αυτό να είσαστε όλοι καλά. Τα παιδιά και εσείς και να τους θυμόμαστε.
Well, we know that your father never wanted anything to change, Manuel. I'm sure he wants to see your mother and you all happy.
Yeah.
Isn't that it? It's lovely out here, beautiful and cool.
George, πάντως μας έχει respect. Και ο Πίτας πια. Και ο Πίτας. Και ο George.
Yeah, Raffaello.
Raphael and
You realise they're all the same.
Yeah, I realise they're both the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, I do. I didn't know which one I liked you both, so I couldn't decide, so I bought you both. You know, hang one somewhere and hang one somewhere else. One with your icons and put one somewhere else.
Let's see. Turn them around.
They're beautiful. So you did go to
I
the
forgot
church
it was
this
St.
morning.
Nicholas.
Yeah, St. Nicholas Day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lovely down there
να
today.
σας φυλάει ο Άγιος Ραφαήλ και να σας χαρίζει υγεία.
So, Lady, how do you say Theologia? How do you say it again?
Θεία,
In Greece.
θεία, θεία,
Thea?
θεία. What? Ελένη, what?
No, not Theoledi. Theologia.
Θεία Γεωργία.
Yeah. How do you say it again?
Θεία Γεωργία. Θεία Γεωργία.
Georgia.
Γεωργία.
How do you say it, Mark?
Theoria. It's easy.
Θεία Γεωργία.
Georgia. Georgia, ναι.
Is it easy?
The thing that had too close. Looks shocking out there.
No, I edited it. See. Well, hey, you got to have 1 or 2 shots though. Serious.
It's roots too, isn't it?
This is Cosma Skills, the Cosmos Connection.
Κοίταξε, κοίταξε.
This is the junior golden girl, right? Apprentice golden girl.
Right, the Golden Girls, huh?
Hey, Manuel.
Yep.
Come in.
Who is she in the shower?
Somewhere.
No, she's in the shower. What can I take? Take her in the shower. Have I got your permission? You're going to the shower, eh? Great, good. Dada, pass. Go pass, Dada.
Κλάστε το όλα.
Go pass. Dada. That was my godmother.
Or you go out. If you want me to go out,
Yeah.
you go further out there.
Okay.
Further out there, and I'm walking there. now.
Okay, I'll follow you.
No, a bit further yet.
Further still. Okay, you have to speak up though.
Oh, I've got nothing to say.
You got nothing to say.
Nothing to say. Where am I?
No? What's your name?
Yeah.
Lani.
What?
Lani. What? Tell me your name.
Lani.
Lani who?
Sinclair.
Lani Sinclair, daughter of. Don't run away.
Marg.
Tell me the story.
What?
Run all the words together.
I am Leilani Sinclair, daughter of Marguerite Stefano Sinclair.
And?
And what?
Tony?
Brother of Kyle.
Tony?
Sister of Kyle. And Tony Sinclair.
Good. Oh, this is a man. Who are you? Boy, I bet you changed.
She looks better now.
Oh, that's good. Hey, tell us about the Golden Girls. Who's who?
Oh, yeah, is Rose.
The dumb one.
Auntie Julie, who's still in Melbourne, is who's she again, Nate? Auntie Julie was Blanche. And Auntie Jessie is Dorothy, and Auntie Elaine is Sophia.
I think you're right. We'll have to find out, huh? See what you mean. So, Jasmine, Theologians,
Yes.
daughter of,
Söder of Daniel. Worship
once again, all together, tell me. Come on, just stay with me.
What can I say? I've got nothing to say.
Sorry, but I can't have my godmother having just nothing to say. I can't let her go on that.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to take at least to tell me your name and your background.
Well, I've got my background. I've got no background. You know, over here.
So what are your roots?
The roots. You know the roots.
Tell me about your roots.
Leave us alone, Manuel, please.
No. Your name, who your parents were.
Nobody's interested in those things now, Manuel.
I am. Now come on.
Can't.
You can't. It's simple. You want me to show you how Mark does it?
Thank you.
Come on, Mark.
6. What would you like, Emmanuel? I'm Marg Sinclair, daughter of Affie and Peter Stefano, who are, this is Kyle Sinclair, son of Marg Sinclair, and Leilani, daughter of Marg Sinclair.
Very good.
And I'm not going to tell you about my roots.
No.
Be okay for a little while.
Well, you know who am I?
Now, who are you? I want you to tell me. Come on.
Who are yours?
Who am I?
Tell me about your roots. Now, come on.
Came from Greece, from Minnesota, Mytilene.
Say your name first. Name first and your mother and father's names.
Jasmine, Cosma, and then I became Jasmine Theologus. That's enough.
Daughter of?
Daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Cosma.
Thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. who?
Cosma.
Yeah, give me the Christian names. Daughter of?
Daughter of Anastasia,
Anastasia.
Emanuele, Cosma.
Cosma. And that's their real name?
Yeah.
Cosma?
Yeah.
Always been their name?
Always been that same name, yes.
So Cosma is from where?
From where?
Yeah, originally, where was Cosma? Where was the full from?
From Mytilene.
Mytilene, so it's always in Mytilene North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always Mytilene.
Yeah. And Anastasia? Anastasia?
She was from Mytilene too. I saw Mytilene. She was born there.
Very good.
So you know all their roots, the background.
Learn about the ladies.
All the roots, same thing.
Come on, the ladies.
All the roots there. Where's the bowl of my other?
Just those two, only those two. Gently in there just to control it. Just let it gently control it. So your name?
No name.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
You know my name. You know my roots.
I want you to tell me. This is only the first step to learning.
Can't talk, Emmanuel. Can't talk.
Elaine Marcoux. My name is Elaine Marcoux. I'm the daughter of. I'm the oldest daughter of.
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest. I can't open them because my voice. That's my voice.
What are you cooking?
I make a sauce. I make a sauce of spaghetti.
Making soup, huh?
Yeah.
What sort of soup?
Spaghetti. Sauce for spaghetti.
This is the first step. What are you doing?
I make a sauce.
Yeah, what sauce? What do you do?
Tomatoes. Onion.
Yep.
And they put tomatoes after.
Yeah.
Just plain sauce.
Plain sauce, huh?
No meat.
Did you made it?
They're beautiful tomatoes, huh?
Cutting up
They're not beautiful tomatoes, are they?
Oh, and who are you?
Ha ha.
You've got the
My name?
right ones.
Yep. All steady?
Wait, we're losing
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Come on. Nana, like you?
That's it? Yes, sure. My name is Emmanuel Stefano, daughter of Peter.
Watch it, I'll put you on video.
Peter and Aphrodite Stefano.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite Stefano. Aphrodite Stefano.
Oh, yeah. Aphrodite.
Sorry?
Aphrodite.
Afro. Aphrodite. Father of another Aphrodite, Maya Stefano. Daughter number one is Anita Dewi Stefano.
Don't. That's it.
This is Leilani, daughter of Marg. And
Does that mean I'm Anita, niece of Marg?
And the person who's behind the camera is Anita, niece of Marg, right? Now there is Yasmin and Elaine, aunties of Marg.
And Emmanuel,
brother of Marg.
So it's Aphrodite, huh? Tell me about Aphrodite. What do you think of Aphrodite?
She's their sister, a younger sister.
Youngest, huh?
Can you open it? Can you open
I
it?
can't open it.
You can.
Marty, can you open the can, please? I'm not high tech.
I don't know how.
So she's the younger sister, huh? Was she the smartest or the dumbest?
I thought
She's ignoring
So how many salads have you made in your lifetime?
Hmm?
How many salads have you made?
How many salads?
Yeah.
Just the one.
No, in your lifetime.
Oh. Stop it! Okay, I can't count them. So many, can't count them.
Aren't you a mother?
What's that?
Aren't you a mother?
Yeah. I'm a mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a mother of two boys, Peter and Nicholas, Lois and Kathy, with two grandchildren, Emma and Adam, which I love, cherish them. That's enough, Manuel. So, we don't want to know any more about it. That's all we know.
What about you, Lenny?
What they say, Manuel, what they say, I can't think of anything to say. No, no.
What about your
Not
son?
married.
Have you got children?
He doesn't have children, yeah.
Who did you marry?
Eh?
Who did you marry?
When they married,
Who did you marry?
they were.
Yeah.
Uncle Aqua.
Uncle Arco?
Tiago. You'll come back. You remember Tiago?
Sure do.
Tiago. Married.
What was his real name?
Marcos, love. Marcos.
Marcos.
But you can say properly like me.
Yeah. Marcos or Marcos?
Yeah, Marcos.
Marku.
Yeah.
So where was he from?
Just Lorisa.
Sister Lorisa.
Just Lorisa. Yeah. Ήθελα να το δω πώς θα βγει αυτό το... και το cooking εδώ.
That way I'm not focusing on you, you know?
They can sit in straight away or just fix it. Is it?
So you have how many children?
3. Service, manual, and angel. Evangelia.
You proud of them? Are you proud of them?
Yeah. Of course I'm proud. Every mother's, every parents are proud for the children.
Of course. Have they got children?
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Granddaughters.
How?
6 granddaughters, 6 granddaughters.
6 granddaughters.
Yes.
Any grandsons?
1 grandson.
6 granddaughters and 1 grandson?
No, altogether. 5 girls and the Mark.
And only 1 boy? It's amazing, isn't it? What are their names?
Georgia. Yes, sir. Georgia.
Theo Georgia. Theo Georgia.
My voice is terrible in the TV. Terrible in the camera.
So is mine. It's always cigarettes, I think. You giving up cigarettes?
I don't like my voice.
So what was it like in Greece?
Beautiful.
Beautiful, huh? So you've both been back, huh?
Beautiful in Greece. Beautiful.
Did they?
Enjoy it, they have a good time.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful in Greece.
What can I do for you?
Did you go together or separately?
Where?
To Greece?
With Elaine.
Yeah.
No, separately.
And what did you think of it, that?
Very nice.
Very nice.
I enjoyed it. Very nice.
Did you go by yourself?
With Emma,
With Emma, huh? Who's Emma?
my granddaughter.
I see, went back with your granddaughter.
Yes.
Something
We
special.
enjoyed it.
Just enjoyed it, huh?
Enjoyed it. We went to Snipilini, Erisor.
What do you think of Emerson?
Very nice.
Changed? Has it changed?
Change.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Oh yes, it's had change for the better.
for the better, huh?
Nicer. Goodbye, Manuel. That's enough.
Say some more, who wants to talk to them?
You went in 1972, did you think about that? 1972? Did you go to Greece?
72. Yes.
What did you think?
Which you mean?
What did you think of Greece in 1972?
1972. What I'm thinking.
Yeah. What was it like for you?
Denken na.
Vad säger syster?
I've been dead. The both is dead.
Both ears, huh?
Is you,
I missed the oil. I missed the oil.
The both he is deaf. You deaf?
I'm deaf. No, I'm all right. I'm not deaf.
So you're the oldest, huh? So you're the best cook? Who's older?
The older one. She's always say I'm the oldest. Why do you always say that? It's not funny.
It is funny.
No.
You
tell the truth. It's a lie.
No. I'm Jessie.
How many years older are you?
Jessie.
Hilda?
She's the older than me.
Hilda?
You're the baby. Todos me spus por isso que eu me quero for dite.
So why did you leave Greece the first time?
You ask me.
Yeah.
You're talking to me.
Yeah. Why did you leave Greece in 1933?
1933, yes.
Why did you leave Greece?
Because the father who left. The father's been here.
Yeah.
Well,
But no aunties love. No aunties in Greece.
You got no aunties in Greece?
No.
No.
Nothing.
No
Just
one?
a cousin.
Just a
Just
cousin.
one cousin married with his wife and children. And
Where's
an
he?
uncle.
In Athens.
In Athens?
No.
No, in Nerissa.
And so?
Yeah. So, what else do you want to know?
Yeah.
There isn't much else.
There isn't much?
There isn't any menu.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
That's right.
Okay.
Take us, and I'm in a different.
Step at a time.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay? Agree to
Okay.
do it tomorrow?
Hmm?
Will you agree to do it tomorrow?
Yeah, it depends.
Εσύ έκοψες την πίτα. Τι βάζω λαμπές, την πίτα.
Δεν είπε τι να κάνουν για να πάρουν την απόφαση, τώρα την πήρανε. Ποιος την πήρε την απόφαση?
Την πήρε την απόφαση.
Δεν τρέχουμε να... Το πρωί, πανησύχω το πρωί, τρέχαμε.
Τι προτιμάς, μάμ, δεν είπες καθαρά. Θέλουμε να κάτσουμε.
Δεν πάλι και με βιώδεκα.
Say anything. Film me. I wasn't sure.
So what are you doing till then? Are you going or staying? What's doing it?
I told you she plays with me like a cat and mouse. And the παίζει με το ποντικάκι.
She knows about Greek women. Time to go, is it?
Any bags, Mum? Το χώρισες?
Δεν το χώρισε.
Το χώρισε.
Θα τα πήρε όλα αυτά ο Μανώλης. Κάτω. Δεν είχε μέχρι την κορυφή. Εκεί πήγε Γεωργία.
It's very good, so very good.
Γεωργία, μία Γεωργία.
She's been the art gallery, have you? You like that art gallery, don't you?
Yeah, I love the art gallery.
See Poles again? Check out the investments?
We only saw it from the outside this time. Chris wanted to keep this one.
So how does it feel after the wedding?
It's been taped. It's working.
How do you feel after the wedding?
Don't ask me incriminating questions.
Yeah, is that right? Incriminating, was it?
Do I look like a Bethel? I do. You mean old and decrepit?
Okay, so now say time to say goodbye. Goodbye to who?
To everyone.
Your sister? Your favourite sister?
Yes.
Lovely to see you. Bye-bye.
See you later. I'll put it on the video and I'll send it back to you.
All right.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
So you have a look.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming out.
Look after yourself. Uncle Peter's definitely looking better, so it's the main thing on the mend.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Who's that one?
You miss it again tonight. You won't be home in time.
Perhaps we should stay.
I'll post it downstairs if they have to. In the Baraka pack.
I'm going to use that as a pillow.
For the dog.
Thanks, Savas.
I'll give it to our lickings.
Bye bye, everybody.
You can get me back, throw my dog in the pool.
That's what we tried to do last time, throw your dog in the pool.
In Sydney, she said,
not the dog.
They had these Japanese tourists
yes.
over. She said she was on the beach one and there's this tourist, I can't see her, and he's got a turtle. He's thrown into the sea, and you bring it back to dry, you cuddle it and everything, you throw it back in again. And everybody sort of gathered around, they were absolutely disgusted, but Angela was absolutely killing herself laughing. And the poor dog, you know, was
Oh, man, my darling.
See you later. Give my love to Nikki, Peter, and everybody.
Yes, I will.
See you, Delaney.
Bye.
Next
Thank
time.
you for everything. Thanks again. Bye, Margie.
So as we were saying, what happened? Delaney, let's do the interview now. Let's talk about it now. How old were you when you came back from Greece?
I forget, man.
Bye-bye.
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 Safe trip.
Bye. Bye-bye.